Let me say something that might make you uncomfortable, but discomfort is where growth lies. A degree does not make you valuable. A degree does not make you rich. A degree does not guarantee success. What it does give you is permission to start, and too many people stop there. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The world doesn't care how hard you studied. It doesn't care how many exams you passed. It doesn't care what your certificate says. The world pays you for results. If you can solve a problem that matters, if you can build, sell, communicate, design, analyze, lead, you will get paid, period. Think about it. Nobody asks, what degree does this app have? Nobody checks the GPA of the person who fixed their business, saved their time, or grew their revenue. They ask one thing, can you do the job? And that's where skills come in. Skills are transferable. Skills are scalable. Skills don't expire when the economy changes. A skill learned once can feed you for a lifetime if you sharpen it. But here's where most people mess up. They collect degrees the way some people collect motivational quotes. Feels good, looks impressive, changes nothing, because knowledge without execution is just trivia. You don't get confident by knowing. You get confident by doing. You don't get rich by learning. You get rich by applying. The market rewards the person who shows up with value today, not potential someday. And listen closely, this part matters. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not smart enough. You are just underskilled in the right areas. That's fixable. Skills don't care about your age. They don't care about your background. They don't care where you started. They only care about reps, daily reps, uncomfortable reps, consistent reps. And once you have a valuable skill, something powerful happens. You stop begging for opportunities, and opportunities start chasing you. So if you have a degree, great, use it. If you don't, great, build anyway. But don't confuse education with leverage, because at the end of the day, degrees may open doors, but skills keep you in the room, and the person who masters skills doesn't just earn money, they earn control. Control over their time, control over their income, control over their future, and that is real wealth. Degrees are proof of attendance, not proof of value. They show that you showed up, followed a system, passed tests, and met expectations. But they do not prove that you can create real-world results. The world outside classrooms operates by a completely different rulebook. Out there, no one is grading your effort, your notes, or how many hours you spent studying. What matters is whether you can produce something useful, solve a problem, or move the needle in a meaningful way. A degree may open a door, but it does not guarantee you belong in the room. Value is not awarded for participation. It is earned through impact. The world doesn't pay for what you know. It pays for what you can do. Knowledge sitting in your head has zero market value until it is converted into action. You can know everything about marketing, coding, design, finance, or leadership, but if you cannot apply that knowledge under pressure, it is useless. The marketplace rewards execution, not intention. It rewards speed, adaptability, and the ability to learn by doing. This is why two people with the same degree can end up in completely different financial realities. One uses the degree as a foundation to build skills, while the other treats it as the finish line. Skills are what turn information into income. A skill is knowledge tested by reality, refined through failure, and sharpened by repetition. Unlike degrees, skills compound. The more you use them, the more valuable they become. Skills travel with you from job to job, industry to industry, and even across countries. They give you leverage because they make you useful in unpredictable environments. When technology shifts, markets change, or industries collapse, skills adapt while credentials stay frozen in time. Relying only on a degree creates fragility. It ties your value to a title instead of your ability. When that title becomes irrelevant, so does your confidence. But when you build skills, you build independence. You stop waiting to be chosen and start creating your own opportunities. You gain the power to negotiate, to pivot, and to grow on your own terms. In a world that changes faster every year, The safest investment is not another certificate on the wall. It is the ability to learn, apply, and execute relentlessly. Skills compound faster than credentials because skills grow through use, while credentials stay static the moment you receive them. A certificate represents a snapshot of what you once learned, but a skill represents what you can repeatedly do in real time. Every day you practice a skill, you don't just maintain it, you sharpen it. Small improvements stack on top of each other, creating momentum that accelerates over time. This is how people go from being average to exceptional, not through dramatic breakthroughs, but through consistent, focused repetition that most people are unwilling to commit to. One valuable skill practiced daily beats 10 certificates collecting dust because mastery creates leverage. A single skill, when deeply developed, can open doors that a pile of credentials never will. Think about skills like communication, sales, problem solving, coding, design, or leadership. When practiced daily, these abilities don't just make you employable, they make you indispensable. They allow you to create value on demand, and value is what the world pays for. Certificates might impress on paper, but skills prove themselves in action where it actually matters. Daily practice also rewires how you think. You stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as reps. Mistakes become feedback instead of failure. Over time, your confidence is no longer based on external validation but on lived experience. This kind of confidence is unshakable because it's earned. Credentials can make you feel prepared, but skills make you capable. Capability changes how you show up, how you speak, and how you perform under pressure. Another reason skills compound faster is adaptability. When you build a skill, you're also building the ability to learn faster. Skills teach you how to break problems down, experiment, and improve. That learning speed compounds across everything you touch. Meanwhile, credentials often lock people into outdated frameworks, giving them a false sense of security while the world moves on. The person who practices daily stays current. The person who relies on past achievements slowly falls behind. In the long run, the gap becomes massive. The person with one skill practiced every day becomes a four, trusted, sought after, and resilient. The person with many unused certificates stays stuck, waiting for recognition that never comes. Progress doesn't come from what you collect. It comes from what you consistently use, refine, and push beyond your comfort zone. The market rewards problem solvers, not title holders, because titles describe position, not contribution. A title may look impressive on a business card, but it does not guarantee results. The market is brutally honest. It only responds to value created. When a problem gets solved, time gets saved, costs get reduced, or growth gets generated, compensation follows naturally. No one pays for potential or prestige, they pay for outcomes. This is why people with modest titles can earn more than those with impressive ones, simply because they deliver solutions that matter. Money follows impact because impact changes something in the real world. Impact means you made a process faster, a product better, a system clearer, or a result more predictable. It means people can point to your work and say, "This helped." Impact is measurable, visible, and useful. Titles, on the other hand, are often internal labels that lose meaning outside a specific organization. The market doesn't care what your role is called. It cares what problems disappear when you show up. Impact follows execution because ideas without action have no weight. Everyone has ideas. Everyone can identify problems. What separates high earners from the rest is the willingness to execute consistently, even when conditions aren't perfect. Execution means taking responsibility, making decisions, testing solutions, and adjusting based on feedback. It means doing the work when no one is watching and delivering results before asking for recognition. Execution transforms theory into proof, and proof is what builds trust in the marketplace. Problem solvers train themselves to think differently. Instead of asking, "Is this my job?" they ask, "How do I fix this?" They look for leverage points, not excuses. Over time, this mindset compounds into reliability. When something breaks, they are the first ones called. When something needs improvement, they are given autonomy. This is how influence is built, not through hierarchy, but through usefulness. Titles can be taken away, organizations restructure, industries shift, and roles disappear, but the ability to execute and solve problems survives every change. The person who consistently creates impact becomes economically resilient. They are not dependent on status for security because their value is proven repeatedly through action. In a results-driven world, execution is the language of trust, and trust is the foundation on which money continues to flow. You are always one skill away from a different life because a single ability, when mastered, can completely change the options available to you. One skill can increase your income, expand your confidence, and shift how the world responds to you. Most breakthroughs don't come from massive transformations all at once. They come from learning one thing that suddenly multiplies your value. When you gain a skill that solves a real problem, doors open that were previously invisible, and opportunities appear where there were none before. Learn it with intention, not casually. Learning a skill means going beyond surface level understanding and committing to depth. It requires curiosity, focus, and the humility to be bad at something long enough to get good at it. True learning is active. It means asking better questions, studying people who are already winning, and breaking complex ideas into simple, repeatable actions. When you learn with purpose, you're not just collecting information. You're building a tool that can change your trajectory. Practice it daily, because repetition is what turns potential into ability. Practice is where confidence is built and fear is dismantled. Every attempt, even the failed ones, sharpens your instincts and improves your judgment. Daily practice compounds in quiet ways. You don't notice the progress at first, but over time the gap between who you were and who you are becomes undeniable. The discomfort of practice is temporary, but the advantage it creates is lasting. Apply it relentlessly, because application is what separates dreamers from builders. A skill unused is no different from a skill never learned. Applying what you know in real situations forces growth at a faster rate than theory ever could. It exposes weaknesses, demands adjustment, and accelerates learning. Relentless application builds proof to yourself and to the world that you are capable of delivering results. That proof changes how you see yourself and how others treat you. A different life doesn't require a different past, more luck, or perfect timing. It requires commitment to becoming useful in a specific way. When you choose a skill and pursue it with discipline, you create leverage over your future. Momentum begins to work in your favor and progress becomes inevitable. The distance between where you are and where you want to be often comes down to one decision followed by consistent action.